Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the TradeStation Getting Started series. Today, we're going to highlight the TradeStation mobile app and we're going to some of the functionality that it's there. Also, I want to make sure that we use this opportunity to ask any questions you may have on the TradeStation technology, on your TradeStation account. The whole purpose of having these weekly sessions is for you to get your questions answered and make sure that you have all the answers and a good grasp on TradeStation's products and services. So feel free to send any questions in the chat or any comments. I'm here to support you, and I just wanted to make sure that we can use this opportunity to do that. In the Zoom technology, which is what we're using today, there is a chat button that you can use to send those questions or comments. So feel free to do that, all right? Let me just set my screens here so that I can get this started. All right, here we go. The usual introductions. I'm not sure if you've been with TradeStation for a while, but my name is Jesus Nava. I'm the Director of Client Training and Education. And it's great to do these classes because I do enjoy teaching everyone about TradeStation's platforms. As I said at the beginning, we're going to focus today on the mobile app and show you some of the nice things that we have there. I'm not sure if you're using the mobile app already, but TradeStation provides you multiple ways in which to trade your account. You can trade on the flagship product, which is the TradeStation desktop. That's the one you have to download and install, and it runs on your computer. We have the TradeStation web trading platform. That's the one you access through a web browser. But this one is a mobile app. We have two versions of that mobile app, one for Android and one for iOS. So if you're using any of these two mobile operating systems, then you should be able to go to the App Store if you're an iPhone and look for TradeStation, or go to the Play Store on Android and be able to search for TradeStation as well, okay? Before I get started, just keep in mind that every symbol and idea that I talk about here is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations of TradeStation. Also, active trading is not suitable for everyone, and past historical performance is no guarantee of future results. If anybody needs additional information on these disclosures, just go to tradestation.com/important-information. All right, everyone, let me switch over to, in order to switch over, I think I have to get rid of this PowerPoint. There we go. So this is my mobile app, and I've tried to silence my notifications, but sometimes I just notice that I just got a call. And I'm not really sure that you can turn off completely all notifications on a phone, especially if a phone call is coming in through an app like WhatsApp or something that uses internet to run the call. So sometimes those come through. So if I do get a call, I apologize beforehand. I'll just make sure to snooze it until I'm finishing my class. So this is the TradeStation mobile app. When you first open it, you get a view of your positions. These are positions that I traded in my simulated account. And it tells me what I have on each one of these. So you can see that at a glance. Let me see if I bring my mouse cursor in the screen. There we go. For Bank of America, I have one option. For the futures ESU25, I have 3 contracts. I have 100 shares of Google, 300 shares of Microsoft. For NASDAQ, I have 3 contracts. And for NVIDIA, I got 4 positions. If you want to see the details of the positions you have for any security, for example, my NVIDIA says 4 positions, but my Bank of America says 1 option. That implies that I only have 1 call or 1 put for Bank of America. So if I tap on Bank of America, it just tells me what that position is. I have a call with a strike price of 47.5. It expires August 22nd, and it tells me if I'm making money or not. I'm making about $38 on that call. Now let me go back and see what I have for NVIDIA. If I tap on NVIDIA, first of all, I have, if you can see here, I have 290 shares. So that's one of my positions. And if I scroll or slide down, I also see 3 calls. I have a call, 167.5 strike, a 175, and a 180 call, all for NVIDIA. It's a quick way for you to maintain aware or keep an eye on all your open positions and be able to react on any of these positions if you want to do. For example, I see a couple of positions here that are losing money, that this call and this other call. I may choose to get rid of those 2 calls, or maybe all my options altogether. If I want to do that, I just have to check the boxes right here on the left-hand side. And let's see if I just tap on the red close button, if it allows me to close those trades in one single trade. And yeah, this is buy to close, sell to close. All I need to do is probably set the order type right here. I'm going to set my order type to market. And let's go ahead and tap on review order. This is all my orders to close. I'm just going to tap here on send order. This is my order results. And it says that I'm filled. So now you can see that my 3 options for NVIDIA went away. I'm left with just the 290 shares of NVIDIA, and I got rid of all the options. So very quickly from the positions view, you can manage your positions quickly. And the best thing is that is within the palms of your hand. So you can be anywhere with your phone, anywhere away from your computer and still have access to managing your account and managing orders, okay? In addition to having a view of your positions, you also have access to your orders. So let me tap on orders up here. And for orders, you have open orders. You can see that I have a Walmart open order and I have, 100 shares of Walmart. So not only do I have an order to buy 100 shares of Walmart, but I also have an order here that is open to get into a vertical for Walmart. Now, these are all my open orders. If I wanted to see the ones that were just filled, I just tap on filled, and you can see that this brings up my NVIDIA 3-leg order that I just closed. If I tap on it, it gives me the details of what I just closed. So yes, when it comes to account management, this is perfect because you can see everything in your mobile device. Let me go and switch that again back to open. If I wanted to modify an order, let's say that I'm not interested in this vertical anymore, or if I wanted to modify the quantity, let's go ahead and do the 2 orders. First of all, let's go ahead and cancel this vertical. So I'm going to just tap on that vertical. Can I do it from here? I should be able, let me just tap. There we go. I just tapped on it. It goes over here and I click on actions and I have the option to cancel the order. I confirm. So when I go back, you can see that the only open order is my buy 100 Walmart. Let's say, for example, that this is buying Walmart at 100. Let's say that I want to modify the price and modify the quantity. I'm just going to tap on that order, click on actions, and I'm going to say replace the order. It pulls up the order ticket. I'm going to increase the quantity to 200. And from these buttons here, I see the current bid and the current ask. I'm going to raise my price, my bid, let's see, to 102. There we go. And then I'm just going to replace the order. Send the order and tap on OK. There we go. Now when we go back, we can see that my open order is buy 200 Walmart at 102. So yes, modifying an order right here on the mobile device is pretty quick, very straightforward. And I'm going to keep on repeating this. The best thing about this is that you can be anywhere and be able to access your account and modify orders, modify positions. So there is a great benefit to install TradeStation on your mobile device because this becomes very handy, especially if you're not in front of a computer where you have your TradeStation platform. In the mobile device, I also have access to my balances. I can check my equities. I have my futures down here. You can see a bulky balance because these are all simulated accounts. I have 3 equity accounts and 3 futures accounts, all connected as a simulated environment. And that's what I use in my presentations just to make sure that I can just place trades without any analysis and not make an error, okay? So those are the 3 main tabs that show up in the home menu. Anytime you want to see your positions, your orders and balances, you'll click on this TradeStation or tab. You tap on this TradeStation logo at the bottom and it takes you there. Now let's go through some of the tabs here that are also very useful. For example, if you want to trade something that you haven't traded before, you can tap on trade, search for the security that you want to trade. These are the ones that I've recently searched for. So we have gold, Tesla, I have diamonds, I have, this is Bitcoin. I'm not sure that this can be traded here, but I think you can pull it as a symbol. This is the Dow Jones. Yeah, it doesn't have a trade button here on the right-hand side, but you can pull up the data and see what coin is doing at the moment. I'm going to search. Let's say that I'm not really sure what the symbol is, but I know what I'm trying to trade. And let's say that I want to trade Home Depot. I'm going to type in home. Okay, and I see a lot of indexes that have the word home in it. This is the S&P 1500 home building, not what I'm looking for. So maybe I just have to continue typing. Home Depot. There we go. So I type in Home Depot, which is the name of the corporation, and it actually pulls up the symbol for me. The symbol is HD. So I'm just going to tap on it, and it takes me to the symbol detail. Now, let me go back because I tapped on the symbol itself. So notice that you have the ability to tap on the symbol or tap on the button trade. If you tap on trade, it'll take you to an order ticket. So sensitive to where you're tapping. If you tap on the symbol, it assumes that you want to see more about the symbol. But if you tap on the trade button, it just goes straight into an order ticket. Okay, before we go into the simple details, I'm going to submit an order because I did say that I wanted to trade something quickly. And that's probably the purpose of that trade tab if you want to trade something very quickly. I'm going to trade Home Depot, but I'm going to take a look at the current price. Current price is 406.16. Let's say, for example, that you're waiting for Home Depot to drop to 405, and that's the price that you want to buy at. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to buy 100 shares. For the price, I'm going to drop it to 405. And the duration of this order is going to be GTC, because I don't know, if it doesn't drop to 405 today, I still have an opportunity to do it tomorrow. So changing the duration of the order sometimes is important if you want that order to remain active for a prolonged period of time. If you want your order to only be good for today, then just leave it the way it is, which is a day order. But if you want the order to remain active, GTC is the option you want. In addition to doing those specifications, right here in the order ticket, I have these convenient buttons that allow me to take a profit and set a stop loss. And I'm going to say, if the security goes to 410, I want to get out. So that means that I made about $500 because I'm trading 100 shares and I'm buying them at 405. If it goes to 410, I'm making $5 per share. But if it drops to 403, then I want to get out. So I bought them at 405. That means a $200 loss. I can put those elements in my order ticket, and it automatically creates what's called an OSO-OCO combination. I'm not sure if you heard of the OSO, but OSO stands for order sense order. Here we have a primary order that's going to buy 100 shares of Home Depot, and at the same time, it's going to send 2 additional exit orders, one at a profit and another at a stop. But those 2 exits themselves are connected in an OCO, which is an order cancels order, because you don't want to have any orders remaining if one of the orders gets filled. So if it fills the profit target, it gets rid of your stop loss. But if it fills your stop loss, it gets rid of your target. So very convenient. I'm just going to tap on review my order, send orders, and tap on OK. There we go. We just submitted that order. We can go back to the home menu and check. So let me go here to my orders, and you can see that in the open order menu, I see my OSO-OCO combo. Pretty cool, huh? And it's interesting how it lays it out visually, because you have the bigger Home Depot, which is the primary order. You can see that buy 100 shares, and then you have the OCO nested under it, which is your selling transactions if either price gets and these are until canceled orders. Okay, pretty cool. So that's the trade button. If you're looking for something quick to trade from the watch list, you can look at symbols that, of course, you want to follow. See, right now, I'm looking at a list that's called My Quotes. I can switch to something different. Let me tap up there. You can look at your positions watch list. Sometimes if you want to see details on your positions, there we go. Okay, if I wanted to, this is my watch list. This is not, you can switch your watch list to my positions. If you want to see more data on these symbols, you have them right there. There's little 3 dots on the top that allow you to switch the view to a grid. The grid, of course, gives you more columns, and then you can see the bid, ask, the 52-week high, the open and the close volume, if you're interested in tracking volume on the watch list, and the description. So if you want to see more data on the list, just switch it to a grid. This view that I was looking at, let me go back here to the 3 dots. It's called the list view, which is simplified, and it just gives you a nicer, a more visual type of logo on the left, I'm sorry. So you're able to identify these companies by their colors or their style. It's easy to identify. And it's just a very straight list with just the current price, not the current price, 90. Okay, that's the call. that's worth 91 cents. I was going to say Bank of America is not worth 91 cents, but it's the price of the call. You can see the value of the S&P futures, 6,381, and you can see how that security is up or down from the close of yesterday. Now, of course, you can change that. You can see last price here. If I tap there, I can show other information. So if you wanted to see volume, there, you can see volume. You can see the volume on your positions, and you can sort by tapping on this little two-headed arrow. It just sorts by from your positions. The one that's traded the most is NVIDIA with 69.3 million shares. Now let's go back here to last price, which is the default. And again, that can be sorted by clicking on the little buttons over here. So yes, the watch list is very flexible. If you go into the menu of the watch list, it allows you to create new ones, helps you organize symbols based on sector, based on asset, based on strategy, whatever is it that you want to organize your symbols by. Yeah, you can create a watch list and then put the symbols in there. Adding symbols to a watch list is pretty simple. All I need to do, this is my positions watch list, so you cannot add symbols in here because it only reads from your positions list. So let me go back to something that I can modify. For example, my quotes. In here, you can see that when you go to a list that you can add symbols to, you have a plus. And if I hit on the plus, I can add the symbols. For example, Home Depot is one that I traded recently. So I can just tap on the plus and it adds it to my list. And then I'm done. And then if I go to the bottom, I can see that Home Depot has been added to my list. Let's go to the symbol detail because I'm going to tap on Home Depot down here. And every time that you tap on a symbol, it goes to a detail view. Now, this that you're looking at this is my matrix. Yes, I was trying to look for the tabs and they've been moved down here. Everybody sees where the tabs are: overview, chart, news, and options, and matrix. So we have 5 tabs that provide you detailed information on the symbol that you tapped on. This is Home Depot. Now you have these big buttons up here if you wanted to trade Home Depot directly. So if I click or tap on the bid or ask, let me just do one single tap, it just opens up an order ticket for you, okay? If you're not ready to trade, just take your finger and slide the trade ticket down and you're back to where you were, okay? But let me go ahead and go through. If you grab your finger and you slide it up a little bit, it removes a lot of that information that's at the top. So if you think, let me do that again. Let me bring my finger and slide it down. So if you think that those buttons and the price here are a little too big and you're not really interested in trading using these buttons, you can just do a quick swipe, a very small swipe up, and it'll remove that information for you to be able to maximize the space of the view that you have. This is the matrix. But let me go here to an overview so we can check out what's available. So first of all, a quick charting overview. This is not our chart tool, but it's a quick way for you to see where the price of Home Depot is. Now, this is the 1-day movement for Home Depot. We can see the range. The high is 409, the low is 404, and this is where the price is in relationship to that range. This is close to 11 a.m. Eastern time. What time is it right now? Yes, 10:24. Now, if you were to want a 1-week view, here it is, or 1 month, you just have to tap on the views right here. This is a simple chart. We're going to go to a more robust charting tool that is part of the mobile device. But remember, this is just a quick overview of what's happening to Home Depot. You have 100 shares already, and they're down $54. And there's an open order that you guys remember that we submitted it together. But over here at the bottom, we have additional information on why is Home Depot moving? Why is it moving? So this is information that we acquire from a data provider called Benzinga, and it's connected to the TradeStation platform. So this is in no way a suggestion or a recommendation. It's just giving you additional information on Home Depot and why the shares are moving at the moment. Here we have some information about ratings by industry analysts, whether they think it's a good selling or buying opportunity. Again, not a recommendation of TradeStation. But it also provides you the earnings calendar for Home Depot, information about Home Depot, and everything. And you can see right here at the bottom that it says provided by Benzinga. And of course, the blue button here if you're ready to trade Home Depot. In the charting tool, the next tab over, this is where you do your analysis. And the nice thing about charting here is that it also provides you a view of your open orders. I think that is extremely valuable. Let me go ahead and open up my chart and see if I'm able to bring those orders into the screen. Okay, everybody sees that? I got my stop at 403. I got my limit at 410. It appears that I got filled at 404.80, which is interesting because you guys remember when we submitted the trade, what price we asked for? I think it was 405. That actually improved our price by 20 cents. Now, that may have been an error on the simulator because that's a big improvement. It's a 20-cent improvement, which is pretty cool, but I'm not complaining. If it was the other way, probably. But if you wanted to check, we can go back to orders and see what happened to the execution of that order. But it appears that we got filled at 404.80, and then we have two pending orders, which is our target and our stop. How do I know I got filled? Because I don't see a similar order flag like the ones for my exits for my entry. If my entry hadn't been filled, I would have seen a similar flag, allowing me to adjust that order right here from the chart. Like, for example, if I wanted to drop my stop to 402 instead of 403, maybe I want to give my order a little bit more of breathing room. I can just tap on the red flag and bring this down to 402. Now, sometimes it'll be difficult to drop it right at 402. You can see that I'm trying to position it. Okay, let me try that one more time. So 402 doesn't really matter because as soon as you let go of your finger, this will go into the trade ticket. So it's not going to drop it for you. Don't be afraid to let it go because it'll send you here to the order ticket, allowing you to do the exact price that you want. Just tap release and it'll go to the trade ticket. It's easier than trying to be precise with your finger. I know many of us that are a little bit older are not so used to a phone screen and may not have the precision of a young child or young kid. But I just changed the price to 402 and I'm just going to tap on replace the order, send the order. So when we're back here on the chart, you can see that my order is going to take a while. There we go. Now it just shifted to 402. All right. So any changes that you want to do on the orders, you don't have to necessarily go to the orders view. You can do it right here on the chart. In addition to order management on the chart, you have all sorts of adjustments you can do on the chart. What I'm doing on the chart is the pinch and zoom gesture that you do on pictures or something you want to make bigger on a document. If you pinch and go in, you'll get more historical data. If you pinch and go out, then you can expand the view. And you can use the finger to cycle through all the historical data here. So it makes it very convenient. You have these buttons on charting. You can do all sorts of modification to the charts, including indicators. So let's say that I wanted to see how the Bollinger Bands look here on Home Depot. I just type on or tap on the gear. I'm going to go to Add Studies, and I see Bollinger Bands right here on the top. Tap it, and there we go. That's how the Bollinger Bands look at the moment. If I wanted to change the standard deviations and the parameters for the moving average, I can just tap on the Bollinger Band's name up here and say, I want to do a 10, maybe 13 bar. You have to use the Fibonacci number. And instead of using a 2, I wish the cursor would go to the right instead of the left. So I'm going to use a 1 standard deviation here. That's where I'm clicking, where I'm tapping. And a -1 for the deviations down. Oh, I just tapped on delete. Sorry. Let's add the study one more time. There it is. Let me tap on the name one more time. I want to change the moving average to something shorter, like 13. And the standard deviations, let's change those to 1. There we go. Now we have a different calculation on the Bollinger Bands, and you can customize any study. So what I would want you guys to do is to explore. Bring up the chart, look at all the different buttons that are there. You have one here. The first one is a drawing tool, and you can draw horizontals, verticals, trend lines. You have a Gann fan. I'm sorry, that's not the Gann fan. That's the Andrews pitchfork. And you have the Fibonacci tools as well, the Fibonacci retracement lines. That's the first one. The second one, if you want to share the chart with someone, then we have the menu, which has add studies. You can change the bar interval, the chart type. So explore the menu because a lot of things are happening in there, okay? The next tab over is the news. News is pretty cool. It just gives you news articles that are coming in the pipeline about Home Depot. Again, our provider for news is Benzinga, but I can just use my finger to cycle through all the mentions of Home Depot that have happened recently. For options, I can go to the options tab, and this breaks up my calls and puts very nicely. Calls on the left, puts on the right, and strikes right in the middle. You have that yellow line that very nicely gives you a view where the current price is, so you know exactly which ones are in the money and which ones are out of the money. Very nice visual. And by tapping on the bid or the ask, you can build spreads. So for example, let's say that I want to buy the 395. I just tap on the asking price, and then I want to sell the 405, and I tap on the 405. Notice how I have a clear highlight in blue for my long trades and a red for my short trades. And right here at the bottom, it says that it's a custom spread. I've just created a vertical, but and all the two legs are sent to the bottom. So let me go ahead and trade this, and I'm going to trade it as a market order. So I'm just going to come here to where it says order type and change this to market, and I'm going to review the order. You can see that up here it says verticals. It recognizes when you select the standard legs of any known strategy, it'll recognize it as that, and it'll trade it as that. Let me go ahead and review the order and send the order. One of the nice things that we did recently on the mobile app, and for those that are options traders, you're gonna take advantage of this and appreciate this functionality, is that we have the ability for you to track that order the exact same way that you traded it. I'm not sure if you've used TradeStation or any other trading platforms out there, but a lot of times when you trade options, yes, you're submitting a vertical, but when those orders get filled, they return as individual legs. And sometimes you have to jump hoops in order to build that vertical again. But let me go here to my order screen so you can see exactly what I mean. Let me go back here to my order screen. Let me tap on the TradeStation button at the bottom. And in my orders, let's see, I got my buy orders. I got my, this was a positions. Let me go to my positions, and I traded Home Depot. Let me tap on Home Depot. Let me just scroll down, and I see my two legs there for Home Depot. But you do have the ability to open up your spreads here and select them. I can select the two legs and then tap on roll, add, or close if I wanted to make any closing transaction. If I tap on close and I say, there we have a closing transaction, and we can play with the pricing and adjust it and send a closing transaction on that spread. Let me see something here on my, I'm going to check that later. There was some new functionality that is implemented on the mobile app that I'm not seeing at the moment. And that was here in the positions tab, because this allows me to modify the columns. These are the columns that are visible. I am missing a little grouping button because we've added these additional columns like margin column, and the margin tells you how your margin is being utilized for a lot of these positions. That's what I wanted to show you. All right. May have to look at that one more time. Okay. I'm going to leave the presentation here. I showed you a few things that you can do on the mobile app, like tracking positions, tracking orders, going into a chart, adding indicators. We submitted a couple trades to the exchange. We did an options trade. We did a stock trade. Are there any other questions or any other examples that you'd like me to demonstrate here? The chat is open. You can make any comments or any questions. That's the reason why I'm here, to support you guys in your getting started with the TradeStation platforms. So if there's any questions, please make sure to send those in the chat window. I'll be standing by for them. As you guys type away or not, then I'm just going to try to look for that option that I'm looking for. Maybe it was pulled. I know we had the release, but I'm going to find out exactly what happened to it. I'm pretty sure that I had it, but it could be something that since it's a new feature, they could have just pulled it. Maybe it needed a little bit more polishing before becoming public, but it's something that I need to look into. Scott is asking, ladder trading is only on web-based platforms. Ladder trading, you mean like trading on a ladder type of utility like the Matrix? Let me show you what we've got here, because if I go here to the Matrix for Microsoft, I'm able to trade in and look at market depth. So yes, okay, that's what you're referring to. On a security that has a high price like Microsoft, Yes, you can place trades here, but Microsoft being traded at $500, it's a little difficult to track right here in this view in the phone. But it's not only traded on the web-based platforms, because we have it available not only on the mobile device, we have it on the web trading platform. We also have it on the desktop. So you can place trades on the matrix on any of our platforms. Now, if I go to a security that is not as high as Microsoft, let me go here to Intel. Intel is trading at $23. Then you can see a little bit more of the market depth on the left and on the right, and you can use it to submit trades as well. Again, the limitation in space in the mobile app may be not really comfortable to trade on a ladder. I would rather, if I were trading on the matrix, have a bigger screen and have a bigger range of prices. We have no way of adjusting the price increments. Like right here, all the prices are listed at 1 penny increments. On the web trading platform and on the desktop, you have the ability to squeeze that and combine different price levels and maybe have the increment set at 5 cents. So it goes from 23.55 to 23.60 to 23.65. So it jumps every 5 cents. In here, you can adjust the price scale. So sometimes it's a little difficult to place your trades here, but you could. Let's say that I want to place a trade here at 23.50. I just tap on the blue side and it automatically sets my order ticket at 23.25, 23.50. It's not as swift as trading on the matrix on the desktop. So if I were a fan of the matrix, I would do it on the desktop, because the desktop is the matrix on the desktop it's pretty advanced, and you can do all sorts of OCOs, OSOs, all types of durations. So it's much more comfortable to do it on the desktop. But at the same time, if you want to use the matrix on the mobile device, you can do that as well. Yes, how to best learn ways of scaling in and scaling out of trades. If you want to do quick scalping and getting in and getting out very quickly, the matrix would be the way to do that. Education-wise, I would pull up TradeStation.com. Let me just see if I can pull it up here and show you where to go. So on Trades, this is a Microsoft Edge. This is the TradeStation website, just TradeStation.com. I'm going to go to Learn, and I'm going to go to Using TradeStation. So Learn using TradeStation. And when you go there, you have education on all our platforms: TradeStation Mobile, TradeStation Web, Desktop, OptionStation Pro, and Futures Plus. On the desktop is where I see the most advanced features. And if you're looking to have that quick entry and exit, this is what I would recommend. Just go in here. One thing that I would do is probably go to Quick Tips. And in the Quick Tips, you have order entry, Quick Tips. I'm going to go ahead and view topics. And there is a quick tip here. This one talks about breakout and fade trades in the matrix, placing limit and stop orders in the matrix. And here's one on scaling out of open positions in the matrix. So we have a few matrix quick tips that you can take a look at. And that's what I would recommend, okay? And if you have any questions or have any issues finding education on TradeStation, please make sure you reach out to us. Our email is education@tradestation.com. Feel free to send me any questions and I'll try to provide you an answer, okay? Yes, this session is being recorded. It'll be available for playback in probably a couple days. All the recordings have to go through a compliance review. And once it's approved, then we'll post it online. If you want to access the archives, just go to the Learn section. Again, that's TradeStation.com. Go to the Getting Started. And when you go to the Getting Started page, okay, we have a full page here of things that you can do to get started, a lot of learning resources. But if I keep on scrolling down, here's a box that says, join our live Getting Started. This is a Getting Started live class that you're attending, but you can click on Watch Archive, and it'll take you to the archives of this class. So this session in particular is being recorded and it'll be posted here on this page. But we have the prior one. So if you look over here, we have this one that's called right here, Explore TradeStation Mobile app. This is a session that we just did. We do a session on all the different TradeStation platforms, and we alternate them every week. So make sure that you stay tuned and look at the events calendar for upcoming sessions if you want to ask questions live. But if you want to watch a recording, here is the recording of the class. Let me go ahead and post that link right here in the chat if you want to jump right to it. All right, guys, thank you again for your time. Thank you for being here with me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Check out our events calendar for upcoming sessions, and it was great having you. I hope everyone has a great afternoon and see you next time. Bye-bye.